Upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of the netherworld shall not prevail against it. A lot of times that phrase is heard as a statement of victory and conquest, that evil will be squashed on this side of the veil by the church in every single encounter between the two. But we need to remember that this was said by a person, Jesus Christ, whose idea of victory also involved him dying on a cross. This promise that the gates of hell will not prevail against the church is not to be thought of as triumphalistic, other than a promise that evil will never completely obliterate the Catholic Church. Those of us who are not experiencing direct persecution at the time have a harder time with that than our brothers and sisters around the world who this morning are being persecuted for going to Mass. So what are we to do with that? I think that we're to stop trying to figure out what is happening in the world. I think that we should stop trying to interpret and figure out and wrap our minds around what is going on inside the church and admit that it is all beyond our ability to comprehend, and then move forward in hope. We can get distracted a lot and discouraged easily when we look around at social media or the news, whether it is in the world or in the church. But St. Paul, I think, asks, who has known the mind of God in our second reading? And that is St. Paul, I think, asking the Romans obviously a rhetorical question. The obvious answer is no one completely can comprehend God's plan. St. Paul, I think, is telling them, at least in part, stop trying to figure out the entirety of God's plan and exactly what it will look like. I think a plan for mental sanity and balance in our world is to love one another, love God, love the poor, pray and live our Catholic faith, and know that the rest will turn out okay, no matter how dark the sky gets, no matter how much it might seem that the evil one has prevailed over the church. Because in a flash, when the Son of Man returns, we know that all will be made right, and those who have persevered in faith will receive their eternal reward.